You can start now.
Okay, so good afternoon, Ajahn and all friends. Today, I would like to present my chapters. I got 3 chapters, the first chapter, the second, and the third. And then what we gonna share today, what we gonna talk today is about the network is your customer. So 5 strategies to thrive in a digital age. This book from David Rogers, Professor David Rogers. Okay, so this is the beginning of the book, how to read this book. So actually this book consists of 3 parts. The first part about a new model for customers in the digital age. This consists of 2 chapters. The first is the customer network revolution. So this is related to the evolution of the customer networks. And then the chapter 2 is network science and lessons for business. So actually the chapter 1 and chapter 2, I think that all part of this we have learned previously from Ajahn, but I think that we get this assignment so we can learn more in deeper about this book. And then part 2, we talk about the 5 strategies to thrive with customer networks. So we will talk a lot about AE plus 3C: access, engage, customize, connect, and collaborate. For me, what I'm going to talk today is chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3, especially only in access. And then the part 3, we will have leadership and customer network focused organization. So it consists of 2 chapters: planning and executing a complete customer network strategy, and also creating the customer network focused organization. So today, only chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. Okay. Wait. Okay, so chapter 1, the customer network revolution. So actually there are a lot of examples that the book from David Rogers give us example about the customer network revolution. He compares the previous condition and then the current condition, because we have a technology, internet technology in this era. And then from the previous class from Ajahn Anon, he gave us the example from United Airlines, that the United Airlines breaks the guitar, but and also in the book there is also the example from, I'm not sure what is the country, Iran or Afghanistan, about the political condition in their country. But this is the example that I want to give you about the customer network revolution, about the network revolution in our community. So previously, if we have I mean, like instability political condition in our country in the old era, we cannot share our condition to other people. We cannot share our condition to other countries, because usually the authoritarian government will try to stop the flow of information from our country to other countries, or from one people to other people. So, but now when we have the technology, so the government cannot stop the flow of information. For the example, in Myanmar, when they have the coup, military coup, and they disagree with that condition, they try to to share the information to the international community, so they get support from the international community, and then the international community will know the real condition in that country, so they can they can get many information about the condition in that country. But in the old era, we cannot get that kind of information or that kind of network. But now it's different. So this is one of the example of network revolution. So because the customer network behaviors is changed from the old time and also now currently change. So there are 5 customer network behaviors in this era. The first, customer in networks seek to freely access digital data content and interactions as quickly, easily, and flexibly as possible. This is the first. And then the second, customers seek to engage with digital content that is sensory, interactive, and relevant to their needs. The third, customers seek to customize their experiences in networks by choosing and modifying a wide assortment of information, products, and services. And then the fourth, customers seek to connect with one another by sharing their ideas and opinions in text, images, videos, and social links. And the last, customers seek to collaborate on collective projects and goals through open platform. So these 5 customer, because the customer networks has these 5 behaviors. So the business or the company can develop their strategy by involving these 5 customer networks behavior. So actually, the we have talked about the AE and Triple C: access, engage, customize, network, and collaborate. So they are ordered actually from the basic to the simple one to the most complex value to the customer. So the start from the basic one, from access, and then increase the complexity, engage, customize, connect, and collaborate is the most complex customer network behavior. Okay, so the relative priority of these values is not fixed. We cannot generalize and say that it is always more important to a customer to collaborate because it is the most complex one than it is to connect. Or even that if a customer has achieved some ability to engage, then he or she will focus on trying to customize. So actually, we cannot say that the most complex one is the best one, and we cannot say that the simple one is the not the best one, but we can combine them, or we can find the best way for our company. So for organizations and businesses, the 5 customer network behaviors: accessing, engaging, customizing, connecting, and collaborating can provide the key to creating value, building strong relationships, and designing products and services for customers in our digital age. And then this is the 5 customer network strategies. Okay, so we will break down one by one. The first is access. So what we need from access is be faster, be easier, be everywhere, and be always on. And then for the engage, become a source of valued content. So it must be beneficial for people, for the customer. And then for the customize, make your offering adaptable to customers' needs. And then for connect, become a part of your customers' conversation. So and then for the last, collaborate, invite your customers to help build your enterprise. Okay, so this is the explanation one by one. shortly and briefly about the access strategy. Be faster, be easier, be everywhere, and be always on. So every organization today faces the expectations of an always on world. To compete, business must find ways to provide customers an easier, faster, more pervasive connection to digital networks. So every organization must be always on in this era because the consumer always need everything in fast, in instant way. So for the example, on-demand business models such as USAA, digital banking, and Zipcar's auto rentals meet customer desire for more flexible service. But I think that now every digital banking has this kind of service, but I think that this one is the pioneer of this service. And then the second one, businesses like Nike and LifeScan are connecting customers to their data by embedding digital access in more and more products, from cars to medical sensors to running shoes. And then the third example of the access strategy is retailers such as Amazon and products like the Flip Video camcorder demonstrate how offering simpler and easier digital access can increase sales and market share. So about the example of access strategy, we will talk more in the last part of my presentation. So we continue from access to engage strategy. So engage strategy means that become a source of valued content. In the pre-digital age, I mean, long time ago, companies could piggyback on mass media, such as television and radio, to buy customers' captive attention and blast them with advertising messages. But today is different. Every business needs to think like a media business. Companies are engaging audiences by creating content that is extremely useful for their core customers. So it must be useful. And then for the example, business from IBM's consultant to the makers of Epkin's stuffed animals are engaging audiences and driving profits via interactive online gaming. So maybe for the engage strategy, we will discuss more in detail with Nizar's presentation tomorrow. This is only the introduction of the AECCC strategy. And then by becoming a source of valued content, media, and information, companies can deepen relationships with customer networks that are increasingly difficult to sway with conventional advertising. So this is the engage strategy. Okay, so this is the customized strategy. Make your offering adaptable to your customer needs. So we provide a lot of offering to our customer depending on their needs. So network customers are not looking for cookie cutter experiences, identical content, and mass produced products, especially now in the digital world. By giving them tools to customize products, services, and content to suit their needs and interests, business can add real value that will differentiate them from competitors and engage their customers more deeply. So this is the example from Ponoko. So Ponoko web-based service provide the customer with the custom manufacturing of furniture, toys, or jewelry. So by using this website, you can select your favorite furniture, toys, or jewelry. You can customize that. This is the example of a customized strategy. Okay, and then after that we have connect strategy. Become a part of your customers' conversation. So customers are constantly sharing ideas and opinions on the web today in social media conversations that shape brand perception. And companies can benefit by joining these conversations. It can be in Facebook, Twitter, or other social media by creating their own forums where customers can express themselves. So the example is by asking customers for ideas platform, like my Starbucks idea and Dell's idea storm help companies innovate valuable new products and services. And then by connecting with customers in their conversations online, business can build stronger relationship and then can get valuable insight and then build their brands. So this is one of the example of connect, like the my Starbucks idea. And then but honestly, after I read connect and also collaborate, sometimes I cannot differentiate between collaborate and connect. So maybe in the end of this class I will discuss with Ajahn about my understanding between connect and collaborate, because the example that I get from connect, it seems like collaborate, but okay, we will talk later after this presentation. And then for the collaborate strategy, we invite the customers to help build our company. So one of the most powerful ways to engage customer network is to invite them to collaborate with our business on shared goals and project. So collaboration can take many forms. So this is the example is active contribution systems allow customers to work on small parts of a collective effort, such as contributing news photos to CNN's iReport. So this is the active contribution. It's like the I forget the name. So when you, when you have some interesting news, when you go somewhere and you find something, so you can take a picture or video and then you can send to the CNN to report your news. Okay, after we finish to discuss the chapter 1 about the customer network revolution, so we move to the chapter 2 about network science and lessons for business. We also have talked about this part 2 weeks ago. So I think that you realize and you still remember about the bridge of Königsberg. So the concept of a network first arose in a field of mathematics known as graph theory, pioneered by mathematician Leonhard Euler in 1736. So in a seminal paper, Euler solved a long-standing puzzle of geography known as the Königsberg Bridge problem. So the same question like what we got 2 weeks ago, could someone cross each of the 7 bridges of that Baltic seaport without repeating one? Because no one can, without repeating one bridge. So it's like a network between one to another. So by reducing urban geography to simple mathematical graphs, the puzzle was easily solved and mathematics of networks was born. So the theory of network is, we can say, is more than 200 years, almost 300 years ago, we have the theory of networks. So as its most basic, a network is any system or structure of interconnected elements that can be represented by a graph of nodes, that we have nodes, or we can call with the elements connected by some kinds of link. The nodes of a network may be anything from land masses to cells in a body, or maybe political institutions or people. The links between the nodes might be a physical connections, or maybe biochemical interactions, relationship of power and authority, or reciprocal social ties, such as a friendship. So it can be, we can find a network in many situations, not only in, in a business, but also we can find in the political aspects, or maybe in biological aspects, in many situations we can find the network. So this is the diagram of a network of nodes and links with random clustering. Okay, so in the field of communications, networks were used to map telephone system with their wires, or we call it as link, and then connecting phone lines and exchanges the nodes. Later, this same phone networks began to link computers into the internet. And then in terms of communication content, the World Wide Web has been mapped as a network of interconnected web pages linked together by hyperlink. Okay, this is in the field of communication. And also we can find in the field of biology and in the field of other aspects. But when we talk about the customer networks, this is the we will talk about the in marketing. This is the definition of customer networks. In the past, a network model may have been less relevant to understanding the relationships of companies and customers in the past. For the most part, advertising and products radiated out from large companies to customers via an bidirectional mass production channel. Although a customer might buy from a company, purchase and sale was their only significant means of exchange. In terms of communication, companies advertise to customers but rarely listen to them. So this is the problem in the past. So most important, customers had virtually no point of interaction with each other. So if you were a regular customer of Ford Motor Company, for example, that was a connection between you and the automaker, but the only connections you might have with other Ford customers would be extremely limited and local. But now, with the rise of an increasingly social internet, however, this picture has changed dramatically. Any organization's customers are now quite easily connected to others around the world who share common experiences, interests, preferences, and purchasing behaviors. And the relationships of customers with organizations and with each other are reciprocal, dynamic, and participatory. So the old time and then now in current, now the condition is different for any organization looking at its customers today. The model of a network should appear very clearly and sharply relevant. So according to Professor David Roger, he gave us the definition of a customer network. So a customer network is the set of all current and potential customers of an organization linked to the organization and to each other through a web of digital tools and interactions. So not that being a strategic business model, a customer network is explicitly defined from the point of view of an organization. And in terms of that organization's constituents, but the customers in a customer network may in fact be members of any key constituency of a business. So depending on the organization, its customers may be business clients, voters, music fans, students, or retail shoppers. Its customers may include internal constituencies as well. It can be employees, volunteers, and so on. Okay, so what network science tells us about the customer network? The first one is greater connection means much greater impact. So from the field of telecommunication network, we have a principle known as Metcalfe's law. This principle states that as the number of nodes in a network increase, so the value or impact of that network grows exponentially. So this is what we can learn from the customer networks. The first, greater connection means much greater impact. Okay, and then the second one is clusters but no center. So human networks tend to be mathematically complex. They have no central plan like the hierarchy of a traditional organization or the straight grid of a modern city, but human networks are not random like the graphs. So okay, so one such principle for the example is for the web is that once a page has several links from other pages, it is more easily found and is therefore more likely to attract traditional links. A principle for social network is that if you and I both share a friend, we are more likely to be friends with each other than with another random person. So networks shaped by this kind of principles and lack any definite centers. Okay, so next, 6 degree of separation. So the explanation about this one, in 1967, psychologist Stanley Milgram set out to prove what he called the small world hypothesis, which states that in a complex network, even with huge number of nodes, any two nodes are usually only a few links apart. In a famous experiment, Milgram set out to demonstrate this hypothesis through social ties. Milgram gave a set of letters to random people in Kansas and Nebraska and asked each of them to try to get their letter into the hands of a stockbroker in Boston, so whom no one of the participants knew. By mailing the letter to whomever they knew who seemed most likely to know the broker. So those recipients were then asked to do the same thing, and then the astonishing result, 42 out of 160 letters reached their target with an average of 5.5 intermediate links between the Midwesterner and the Bostonian. So this remarkable result was the inspiration for the title of the play and later movie by John Guare, which gave us the popular term 6 degrees of separation. So from 160 letters, only 42 reached their target. Okay, so, and then this is the important one also about the power laws, and then the 99 one. So another principle of complex non-random network is that they tend to follow what is called a power law distribution. So many natural phenomena such as the height of species follow the random distribution known as a bell curve, but in some condition we don't have the bell curve. So what I can say from this in business, for the example, you have 100 consumers. From 100 consumers, so maybe you have nine customers that how can I say, that pay attention to you, but you will have one that is very active to promote your business, to promote your product. So if you have so it means that even though you have a lot of customer, but in the end you have one, so as the representative that is very active to promote your company or your product. Okay, so and then what network science tell us in the next is easy group formation. A final lesson from network science is that networks allow for extremely quick and easy formation of groups and coordination of action without advanced planning. So this can be seen in the synchronized chirping of crickets, the simultaneous flashing of millions of fireflies. So this is the example in the nature. And then today's digital tools and interactions allow us to congregate and coordinate over distances, and not just when we are in the same room. Okay. Okay, so we move to the roots of revolution. For many years, we have had tools for instantaneous communication over great distances, such as radio and television. And many of these tools have been widely available for individual communications, okay, in the past. The telegraph and the telephone and have been credited with shrinking the distances between us. And there is one way in which today's tools are qualitatively different. Okay, so this is the one-to-one communications in the past. So one person can connect to another person and then connect again to another person, something like that. So we call it one-to-one communication. But now, at the same time, a small group of large organizations have had access to tools following a different paradigm. So one-to-many communications. This included broadcast radio and television cable, and then also the social media. Okay, and then the old mass market model arose in the early 20th century and came to its peak with the spread of television as a mass medium. So in this figure, this is the mass market strategy model in the past. So company, they try to promote their product, advertise their product by using the mass production, by using the mass communication. But when we see this, not all of the message hit the audience. Some are missed. Okay, so this is the old mass market model. And then now we have mass market to customer networks. In a customer network model, things look quite different. Okay, so this is different from the past. So companies are no longer the only ones able to produce or to communicate. So in the previously, the company on the only one that communicate to the customers, but now companies are no longer the only ones able to produce or communicate. So individual customers also have voice, whether interacting directly with each other or using powerful platforms like product reviews, videos, vlogs, and forums. So now changing to this era, to this customer network, very different if we compare with the long time ago. Okay, so this is the purchase funnel revisited. So sorry that the figure is not okay. The figure crop. So how this plays out in marketing to customers can be seen by examining the model known commonly as the purchase funnel, which arose out of consumer research into the hierarchy of effects of marketing. In the traditional purchase funnel, potential customers process through a stage process. This typically begins with awareness, okay, and then this typically begins with awareness of a product or product category, followed by considerations, and then preference, action, which may include purchasing a product, testing a food, or becoming a member. And each stage of the process, there are fewer customers will move on to consideration. Hence the funnel shape. So traditionally, customers are nudged along this path through a series of outbound and then outbound company-controlled marketing tools such as television, out-of-home advertising, and direct email. And a fifth stage, loyalty, was added to the purchase funnel to represent the subset of purchasing customers who go on to become repeat customers. So today, a similar path can still be traced in customers' decision-making process, but we have advocacy here. And then after that, okay. So this is the comparison, mass market versus customer network approaches. So in the mass market approach to marketing, we have mass market manufacturer message, one size fits to all. But now in customer network approach to marketing, we have niche. Each will choose, create, or modify to suit his or her needs. So very different. And then broadcast out, but now send out and receive, connect with the customer. And then the third, interrupt attention, but now earn attention by providing good content, utility, and experience. And then most effective selling is by the company or advertising in the long time ago, in the past time, but now most effective selling is by the customers, advocacy, reviews, and word of mouth. And then the goal of marketing is to persuade in the previous time, but now goal of marketing is to inspire. Can be confidence, trust, and loyalty. And then the dominant tools is awareness. This is crop. And then dominant tools now is innovation. Okay, so we move to the chapter 3 about access. So the access, this is the, so this is the last chapter that I will present today. From the 5 strategy, I will talk only about the access. Be faster, be easier, be everywhere, be always on. So in this chapter, I focus on the 7 approaches that we use to run this access strategy. Okay, so the first core strategy for customer networks is the access strategy. So as we know that we have AE and triple C. So the first is the access. Access is to provide your customers an easier, faster, and then always on connection to the digital world. A business can provide customers better access to its digital services, products, and communications, or it can provide customers better access to their own digital content and interactions with others. So either approach can create a competitive advantage for business by delivering experiences that network customers keenly value. So by improving the digital experience for customer networks and employees, an access strategy can help an organization to achieve such key business objectives as the first, differentiating its products and services. A second, optimizing communications with customers, and then increasing efficiency in sales channels, and then increasing the speed of business decision making. And the last is improving data transparency within the organization. So this is the a benefit of access strategy for the organization. So there are 7 approaches that we can use to run the access strategy. The first is be on demand. So offer your services and content to customers whenever and wherever they want them on their schedule, not our schedules. And then the second approach is harness the cloud. Make your customers' data accessible to them from any devices they use through cloud computing. And then the third approach is go mobile. So take advantage of how smartphones and devices allow us to be fully networked wherever we go. And then the fourth, find your location. So use location awareness to improve communications and target your customers with more relevant interactions. And then the fifth approach is be real time. Provide instant feeds of the most critical information to customer through real-time data services. And then the sixth, embed the network. So we provide access through the network connections that are becoming embedded in objects all around us. And then the last approach is keep it simple. Focus on simplicity and ease of digital access as software and hardware grow increasingly powerful and complex. So I will give an example of every approach to run the access strategy. So the first, this is a very classic example of be on demand. So long time ago, if we want to listen to the music, so we have to have the old music player, but it was not portable. But in 1979, Sony Walkman arrived, and it offered a totally new experience, that the ability to access the music whenever and wherever we wanted. So when we have tennis, or when we want to have sport, at that time we can play the music. So this is one of the example, the classic example of be on demand, Sony Walkman. And then Now also, I mean, in this era, we also have Netflix. So if we want to watch movie, I mean, a long time ago, we need to wait in the suitable time for the television. We can watch the movie, but now we can watch whenever and wherever we want, as long as we have the internet connection, and we can watch from Netflix. Netflix also one of the example of be on demand. Okay, and then the second approach for the access strategy is harness the cloud. So Evernote is an example of cloud computing. So the practice of storing data and running computing applications on remote servers located in the cloud of the internet rather than on our own computer located at home or work. So increasingly, cloud computing technologies like Evernote will define how customer network access their data. And also there are a lot of, I mean, now there are a lot of applications that involve cloud that indulge the customer. Okay, and then the third approach for the access strategy is go mobile. So consumers use their phones to place orders at fast food restaurant, and then we can also purchase product via credit card, bank transfer, or debit by using the mobile phone, and then check in for flights at airport, open car doors, and then scan barcodes, and many things that we can do by using our mobile phone. And then this is one of the examples, Saku Digital. This is the application in Indonesia that we can use to pay anything by online. And then the fourth approach is find your location, because mobile computers and our phone include GPS. So they also open up the possibility for what are called location-based services. So these services include geotagging for photos and other documents created on a mobile computer, but many other kinds of services can take advantage of location awareness as well. For the example that I can show for the find your location is a Grab, so we can find the nearest driver for us if we want to go somewhere. So we can use this kind of application to find the online taxi or online driver. Okay, the next is be real time. This is one of the example is LifeScan. LifeScan was quick to introduce an application for diabetes management. So patients who need to test their blood sugar level and inject insulin throughout the day can transmit the glucose reading automatically to their phone, and then easily track their diet, and then calculate how much insulin to take, and even choose to transmit their progress to their physician or family. This is the one example of a be real time from LifeScan. And then keep it simple. Keep it simple is very important because for a customer like the simple thing. So like the example, the BlackBerry focused on doing a few things. I mean, they're in their phone, like email and phone, and created an incredibly simple and efficient design. And then the next example is Apple's iPhone offered another equally easy operating system, so easy to use with an intuitive touch interface focused on browsing the web, music, and media. And then this is also the last example for the simple thing is the flip pocket video camera, because this kind of camera is very small and then easy to use. Compared to the professional camera, we need to bring the big size of camera, and then when we want to keep, we cannot keep to our pocket, but when we use this flip pocket camera, will be simple for us. And then the future of access. Even as customers desire to access digital data and interactions stay constant, the technologies available to help them achieve that continue to evolve. As network access becomes more ubiquitous and embedded in more devices around us, so your customers' online and offline experiences will continue to merge. So this is keys to an access strategy. The desire to digital data, content, and interactions is at the heart of today's customer networks. Whatever the type of business, an access strategy can add value to customers who are increasingly spending their lives in digital networks. So this can be done by innovating new products and services that help the customers access their own data and interactions more easily and flexibly, or by making it easier for the customers to access the business's digital products, services, and communications. And then whatever the approach, digital access is largely about speed. So whatever the approach that we use from the 7 approach, so but the digital access is largely about the speed. And then because the customers connect with us more easily, quickly, and flexibly and ubiquitously, so what will they find? What information that we can provide to them? And then some question also that we have to answer about the key to an access strategy is, what is the content that people want from us? And then how do we get customers to pay attention to us? So this is some of the questions that we have to answer to run the access strategy. So that's all from me. Thank you.